There we are. Right, respawn back on another jetty.
Andrew?
Yep, I can hear you. You still
Do
there?
you have a bead on how many pieces have been returned so far?
Yep, returned 5. And
Okay, so we
5
still have like
required.
5 to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Much better. Much better.
Shooting at me again. Hold your horses. There we go.
All
Get
right.
that. Ouch. Oh dearie me.
And just like that, we are heading into the 3rd hour of this live stream already. Time flies, huh?
Yes.
We joined this about an hour ago already.
Yeah. Time does fly quite quickly.
Especially when you're having fun.
Especially when you're having fun, parkouring on castle towers and with torches flashing at one another.
I'm jumping around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if we can go for this piece over here.
You know the old adage, right, Andrew?
What's that? Sorry?
When stuck on an English island, do party like it's 1999.
Yes. Indeed. All you need is a castle tower, a torch, and several other people to jump alongside you.
Absolutely. It's all about the rave, man.
Indeed.
All about the rave.
Throw that over there. Okay. Let's see who. Yep. Get down. Got it. There we go. Now I just need to back up slowly. Right, let's see if I can take a detour across here. Through the water.
Yes.
That way I don't have to deal with the enemies. Oh, there's another device piece off over there. Hello, hello. I can go for a spot of evening swimming.
A brisk evening swim.
Yes. Actually, it looks like there's nobody guarding it. That might be ideal to just slip in and take that.
As perhaps the guards are otherwise engaged.
Yes.
Some of the other rapscallions scurrying across this island. Such a nuisance. Humans.
Yeah, completely unguarded. Fantastic. Boom. There we go.
Geomaster asking how you trade. It is quite simple, my good chap. You stand still and then you press the O button and then other people can loot you as if you were a loot item. Very simple. And I am about to die.
Once again, just take some shotgun shells to the old noggin.
Yes, I think I am thoroughly stuffed, Andrew.
Alright.
If you can help me out here, that would be greatly appreciated, but I believe I am done for. In fact.
I see everyone hanging around by the old standing stones. There we go. So just see if we can do a little bit of dancing over here.
Oh?
Gosh, actually, with the light of those standing
I have
stones.
so little health remaining. Protect me.
Oh, there you are. Yep. Oh dear.
I did not make it, sadly. A robot got me.
Having said that, hopefully you may have lured a few people away from this other device piece that I can see. Let's see if I can get to it
Yes.
before any robots actually return to the location. Oh yeah, there we go, completely unguarded. Oh gosh, there's actually 2 of them. Fantastic. Oh, and this guy's got weapons, lovely. Which I will take. Boom, that's 1. Let's see if I can do a sneaky little move and get across and get this other one, whilst nobody's around. And, oh, there we go. Boom. Ah, another dead robot. Blunderbuss. Yes, please, I will take that. If I can just make a bit of space for this shot. 6 and 7. Nice. That's more like it. Now I'm a bit more geared up.
Yes, it looks like my old corpse has already been looted, and I am once again left without any weapons.
Yep.
And I'm currently trying to dodge this rider, but not very successful at it, sadly.
'Twas not to be, unfortunately.
It was not to be. But hey, I spawned somewhere else now, so I have another shot at life. Another shot at escaping. Let's see if we can get out of here.
Oh gosh, it occurs to me I've got no bandages. That's potentially a bit of an issue if I get shot at. There we go, let's rectify that issue.
Yes.
Right. So now begins the waiting game for the stones to reactivate again.
How many pieces have we got?
2 of them at the moment. So yeah, I think...
That's not bad. How many pieces do we still have to return? 4 of them?
it says required 3, return 7 at the moment. Hello, hello, do you see a fellow with a blunderbuss creeping up behind you?
Oh, I do. Hello,
Yeah.
Mr. Blunderbuss.
There we go, that would be myself.
Hello, Governor. Hello.
Alright, Gav. Go
You
save
can
the
do
Queen
accent
and all
so
that.
much better than me. Who knew that your British accent would be better than mine?
Oh gosh, watch out for the robots closing in. There we go.
Oh, I just was snuck up on by a dog.
Now then, Arn, choose your accent. Would you like Northern English, like I'm speaking right now, Chuck? Or perhaps you to prefer a bit of Scouse?
English.
Yes.
There's West Country. That's the Hello Governor one, right?
Hello, Governor. I think that's more like a London one.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
London.
West Country is the one that people associate with farmers, people like that.
Yes, and I
Alright there,
guess the
sir.
comedian Bill Bailey, he also
Yeah.
speaks with a
Yeah.
West Country accent. Then there is the Merseyside accent. That's also a really telltale one.
Oh yeah, that one. Where
Can you
get
do a
towards Liverpool.
Merseyside accent?
I can sort of do a bit of a Liverpudlian one. Hang on, from Liverpool.
That works too.
Yes. From Liverpool, pet. Over here. Come on down. Or go on up, rather, since it's up north.
I can try to do one, but I'll probably mess it up real bad.
Yeah. Go on, give it your best shot.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
Nah, it's not happening.
Yeah. That like in like a Merseyside Liverpoolian like broad accent,
Yeah.
the word photograph, it becomes something like the graph, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
yeah,
Photograph.
like the-
Something like that. Yeah.
exactly. That's it.
Yeah. It's
I'm very bad at doing it. I can do you a mean Dutch accent, though. I'll tell you that.
yes, that one would be quite surprising, wouldn't it?
Yes. Now the monkey is out of the sleeve.
There we go. One more piece. Now let's just wait for these stones.
Yes, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. It's, I'm not sure if you remember him, but there's like this sort of famous Dutch football trainer, Louis van Gaal. He used to train for one of the English clubs for a while, and he has this lovely, like, broken English Dutch accent where he uses stuff like Dutch sayings,
Right.
like literally translated word for word to English.
That'd probably sound interesting. I'll be wondering if there's like, anything there that gets lost in translation or something.
Well, it's just that like Dutch saying sounds
Yeah.
very silly if you translate them over literally.
Alright. Yeah.
Like you get stuff like, oh yes, now the monkey is out of the sleeve, right? Like that.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, like it means the same as cats out of the bag, but like
Ah, I see.
monkey
Yeah.
out of the sleeve, right? That doesn't quite sound
Yeah.
right in English.
It's quite random, to put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, cats out of the bag is almost just as random.
True, it is. Yeah. It kind of actually reminds me of when I was a
That's
teenager.
the funny thing, because the Dutch people in Dutch, we do have a saying about cats in bags, but it means something completely different, right? In
Oh,
Dutch, we have
yeah.
a saying that literally translates as buying a cat in a bag, which
Oh,
means
right.
something like being scammed, right? You're buying a cat in a bag.
Okay, yeah.
But it implies like, oh yes, I bought a cat in a bag. I've been scammed. I bought
I
something
see.
that wasn't good.
Yeah. Now, usually all these kind of like little phrases, you know, monkey in the sleeve and things like that, it always makes me think of when I was a teenager in like high school French lessons and stuff like that, where they would teach you all these like strange phrases that you think, I would never actually use this in real life. But I guess the whole point is to teach me sentence structure or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes, when you yes, okay, yeah, you learn sentences like yes.
Il singe sur le manche, or whatever it was in French, like the monkey's up the tree or something. It's like, okay.
I still remember the French sentence for "I got you now." Je taille!
Right. Wow. Wow, that rider went flying. There we go. Absolutely ragdolled. And we found the jumping squad over here again. It looks like it.
Alright, the jumping jacks at it again. The lads.
There we go. Whoa! Okay. Whoa, I got backstabbed by one of the jumping boys.
The jumping boys.
There's Discord.
More like shifty boys.
There is Discord within the jumping boys movement. I have been looted of my 2 device pieces. It looks like I will not be escaping this island. Well, unless assuming that is... that's actually probably why they were hanging around there. They were probably waiting for us to show up.
To be fair, yes, they were little more than highway robbers.
Indeed. Okay. Oh, yeah, take my pieces on. There you go.
There we go.
Live free.
I guess I was one of the lucky ones that got away.
Yeah.
Alright, it looks like Eclecticlish is back on. Welcome back, Eclecticlish. Happy to see you again. Let's see if we can get in the next game.
Yeah. Ooh, it's actually getting quite dark where I am at the moment. I have to put a light on.
So yes, let's talk a little bit about your Let's Play series. You spoke about it a little bit just a second ago. About the parkour challenge that you're doing, but maybe you should tell a little bit more about like.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Kind of reality is that there's a whole kind of crazy mix of games over on my channel. So apart from Sir, you'll find things like survival games, horror games, visual novels, the odd thing like that, FPSs. So it's a bit of a crazy one. And the thing about kind of me is I don't do YouTube for a living. I don't actually earn any money off it. So I just basically do it as a hobby. So I'm literally just a guy who plays games, records myself playing them, uploads them in the hope that a few people out there find them vaguely entertaining. So that's kind of really the essence of my channel.
What are some of the games that you play outside of Surrey Being Hunted?
Yeah, so...
What other games do you enjoy?
So one of the big ones that I play quite frequently on the channel is Return to Castle Wolfenstein from 2001, which is a World War II FPS. But apart from that, some other ones that I'm playing at the moment, I've got a Brothers in Arms Earned in Blood series that's going on at the moment. That's actually will be finishing quite soon because I've got quite far through it. But in the past, I've played a mix of new and old games. So ones that came out on Steam in more recent years, as well as things that I played when I was younger. So, for example, I've played games in the Rayman franchise, in the Danganronpa franchise.
Yeah, you have a second channel as well for do you still play Danganronpa? I don't keep 100% up to speed with everything you do, but...
I've played all of the main Danganronpa games, so that's Trigger Happy Havoc, Goodbye Despair, Ultra Despair Girls, and V3 Killing Harmony. So I've done all of those. I play, actually, Danganronpa fan games from time to time as well, since there's a few of those. Other than that, you know, I play various other kind of visual novels, just for the heck of it and just to sort of poke fun at them a little bit. But apart from that, I'm just trying to think, you know, what other games have I played? There's quite a lot, in fact. I've played like...
played Großen Panzer?
Yes, that's right. Indeed. I'm trying to think as well, like puzzle games, for example. I played like the Portal games. I've done those ones. Superliminal. That's another one that I played through on the channel a few weeks ago. It was a great one.
You played through it together with Phil.
That's right.
Who is your kind of your a usual co-host who pops in from time to time on the Sir episodes.
Yeah, that's right. For anyone who doesn't know, Phil is an old friend of mine. Me and him go way back. We used to actually go to the same primary school for a few years when we were like 4 or 5 years old. So yeah, me and him were like real old friends, know each other. But the kind of story really with me and him actually is that prior to me setting up an individual channel of my own on YouTube, me and him actually did have a shared channel which only lasted about a year before basically we actually shut it down because essentially the content on it was kind of incoherent, just all over the place, which, you know, we do look back on and kind of regret, actually. We should have probably actually just left it up for posterity's sake, but yeah, so, I mean, the General Red Strategist channel actually started in 2012, so I've been around for almost 10 years in terms of, my individual channel and all that.
Yes,
so,
that's quite the age for a YouTube channel.
Yeah, indeed.
I mean, you've been around longer than Sir Being Hunted has.
Yeah, indeed. I remember actually, I think Sir Being Hunted back in the day, something like 2013 was when it originally was in early access, or it started off in early access. And I remember...
the game was developed partly in 2012, and this is also when the Kickstarter campaign was held.
Ah, yes.
And then the game was released and patched a lot in 2013, and then there was a single patch in 2014.
Yeah.
And that was the original development cycle.
Yeah. I remember actually when I first bought Sir Being Hunted, it was actually on Humble Bundle before I eventually transferred it over to Steam. So it was like, I can remember just keeping an eye on my email for updates every so often from Humble Bundle telling me when the game had been patched with new content, stuff like this, and just then downloading it, doing update videos, basically going through all the new stuff. And it was
then imagine the shock on that one fateful day in 2021 when you were notified
yes.
in advance. A patch is coming, good sir.
Indeed, yeah, that was quite something. Because it was, Sir was one of those games which, because it hadn't been updated for so long, I was just sort of assumed that that was kind of it. The multiplayer side of things had kind of died a death, and single player itself was never going to kind of get updated again. But then you messaged me on the General Red Facebook page, and it was like, wow, this is actually quite fascinating. It's incredible actually to see that this game has been picked up again.
Yes.
For further updates, and it's fantastic stuff. Yeah, with all the kind of bug fixes that are actually coming out, helping to make the game, basically patch, like I say, some of the bugs that the original devs never kind of got round to actually fixing, which is great.
Yeah, and it's been great, because when we released our first round of bug fixes, a little over a month ago, we thought that we'd had all of them, but then the game came out and people started reporting more and more and more of them.
Yeah.
And then we did a second patch, and now we are still working on the third patch for the single player.
Nice.
And, we've patched the multiplayer twice, so we are processing reports all the time.
Yeah.
And we are doing our best to keep up with people as much as possible, and most of the reports that have been made so far have been fixed.
Yeah.
So, we try to keep a clean house as much as we can.
Yeah. So, out of interest, any sort of immediate plans then for the next patch in terms of what sort of things you might be hoping to fix up?
Yes, there are still quite a few issues left in the game surrounding large maps.
Yeah.
I mean maps with large regions. They have a couple of issues in them. For instance, if you make a large industrial map, it spawns the wrong village type. It will spawn rural villages instead of industrial ones. And in some cases, it will spawn industrial villages too, but it will usually spawn more rural villages than it will spawn industrial villages. In fact, you're lucky to get just one. And also, the main feature of the industrial biome, which is the central kind of canal or trench that runs across it, that doesn't spawn either.
Oh.
That is getting fixed soon.
Oh, good. Yeah.
There is also the issue of docks sometimes not spawning.
Yeah.
Because with the large regions, specifically, there sometimes simply aren't places where it can spawn in the first place, meaning that it just can't put them down, right? And we already had like a partial sort of fix for this, where we made it so that at the very least dogs can spawn outside of the playable boundaries of the game.
Yeah.
But that just means that the dogs wouldn't spawn at all, which is not much better, right? Because it still means that a big portion of the map is inaccessible.
Yeah.
But we are pushing a fix for that as well with the next patch.
Good.
However, the multiplayer work has been so intense and so crazy, and mostly time-consuming, honestly, right? Because when we do a patch, we usually try to have like a significant amount of fixes packed in one.
Yeah.
And you know, if you check the patch notes from the multiplayer, it looks as if the patch notes are very short, but in fact, there is a lot of work that did go into each of these fixes.
Yeah.
It's just that, you know, each of the fixes represent several days of work, instead of, you know, each fix representing a couple of hours in most cases.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's kind of like that, and because we put so much energy into the multiplayer, we kind of had to choose, you know, do we want to patch the single player right now, or do we want to patch the multiplayer, because we kind of can't do both at the same time.
Yeah. I suppose
So we chose to, so we just chose to, you know, Solid will just fix the multiplayer and put it out when it's ready, and then the single player will just do that after we're done with the multiplayer.
Yeah.
So that is still being worked on, but we already have a couple of fixes ready. Just not quite enough, I think, to justify having a full patch for it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
because
makes
there are
sense.
more issues that we want to fix and ship in there as well.
Yeah.
Although to be fair, the fixes that we are shipping are becoming like the bugs that we are fixing are becoming more and more minute and irrelevant. Right? Like for instance, like I said before, like a lot of the bugs that we're focusing on now are related to like large regions, which is something that maybe 0.5% of the player base actually uses.
Yeah.
So this is like some very specific fix work that we're doing right now.
Yeah.
We're no longer really focused on like large bugs being fixed, because we fixed all of them, right? Like people don't report large bugs anymore because we took them all out. And I'm sure that there's still large bugs in there, but there certainly are a lot less of them than there were, 2 months ago.
Indeed, yeah. So I suppose, you know, what really, more than anything, even if the patch notes do seem quite short, actually, the kind of beauty of that, actually, is that you are fixing kind of substantial stuff. So it's more kind of quality over quantity, to put it that way, which is great.
I'm not one for tooting my own horn, but we do try our best on each of these patches, right? Because, you know, we make patches and we fix stuff until we think there's enough to put it out there, and then every time we do, we get more reports and we just have more stuff to fix. So, you know, but it's less and less each time, so it's kind of this vicious cycle, but like kind of in reverse.
Yeah.
Where it's just getting better and better every time. So, the game itself is just headed in like a really nice direction. Where it's better than it's ever been, or at least better than it's been in a long time.
Yeah, amen to that. I'll agree with that. It's certainly.
And of course, everything that we fix in Classic Edition will also carry over to Reinvented. So it's it serves multiple purposes, and I'm happy to release those for the old version as well.
Yeah.
Right, because Reinvented Edition will have many reworks and many changes to the balance, and I can imagine that, you know, some players may not like it, or they may want to go back, or and you know, if you do want to play the old version, which you're more than free to, you'll at the very least have all of the modern bug fixes and improvements and all that stuff as well.
Yeah.
So you don't have to choose between a stable version that you don't like the balance of, or a version that's very buggy but has balance that you like. It's kind of a ridiculous choice that you have to make sometimes with some of these remasters.
Yeah. That's good. You can get sort of best of both worlds then.
Exactly.
Reinvented or classic, indeed.
Yeah. And if you don't want to work at all, that's possible too. You can just unpatch the game and get the old original version back. You know, the one that was released back in 2013. That's possible too.
It's good.
You're not forced into playing our version of the game either if you don't like any of the reworks that we did.
Yeah.
But it seems like the far majority prefer the new version of the old. So I think by most people we're doing good work.
Yeah.
But
Indeed.
there's always people. There's always people.
Yeah.
I think you know how these things go.
Yeah. I think, you know, with every game you'll always get folks who kind of prefer the older versions and, you know, might have a little bit of a moan about when things change a bit. But I think, you know, as a general rule, that's usually massively outweighed by those who do sort of appreciate the changes and do see the benefit of them.
For sure.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. I'm just sort of parkouring along the wall tops again. Let's see if we can go up here. Let's see, is it possible to climb along the exterior of a tower? It might well be, well, to some extent, perhaps, but... oh, hold on. Yeah, I'm a bit stuck. My head's like banging on the wall tops. There he goes, that flipping rider. Okay, actually I've got a good view of the standing stones from where I am.
Vantage point.
Yes. Okay, alright, how are we doing? 4 required.
Well, I have a lot of ammo, but I don't have the right gun for it, so...
Yeah, so all I have is a stick of dynamite and an axe in terms of weaponry, which is not going to be great if I have to make a sudden run for it.
Ah, I have found an axe. Good. What is your favorite weapon out of the Serving Hunted Arsenal, Andrew?
Ooh, I must say I'm a fan of the... well, probably actually the shotgun most of all.
It is the workhorse of the game's arsenal.
It is, yeah. You know, you can sort of get up close to them and just get up close to the robots. That is, give a good shot off on them. You just instantly deal with them. Having said that, you know, I think all the game's weapons are pretty unique. So, you know, in the right hands, you can get good use out of all of them.
Andrew, where are you at? I have a weapon for you.
Ah, alright. I'll start pinging. I'm near the standing stones, crouching on top of a wall. On one of the castle
I
walls,
am
that is.
being assaulted by a dog, so
Ah.
that doesn't really help me very much.
Your arrival may be slightly delayed, then. Oop.
And I am dead.
No, never mind. A further delay is to be expected. Alright.
It's like Ticklish says, X is best boy. Yes, I am definitely want to agree. I like the X.
Yeah.
I like the X. I also know that like Ticklish is really good with dynamite as well, which is
Yeah.
a very powerful weapon once you learn how to use it properly.
Indeed.
It is not for beginners. But then again, I think you can argue that none of the guns are really for beginners.
True,
The
yeah.
beginner way is to not fight at all.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
much safer. You'll live much longer.
Indeed. I'll just be 1 second, I'm just going to turn the light on in my room because it's getting quite dark where I am.
Alright.
Yeah, it's only like just gone 7:30 here in the UK, and yes, the dark nights are coming in now.
Oh yes, for sure. It's
Yeah.
I mean, here in the Netherlands, it was basically the first day this year where it was cold enough to turn on the thermostat,
Yeah.
the central heating.
Okay,
Because
I'll just...
it's been off. It's been off for months now, but you know we have to turn it back on today.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just be 1 second. I'll be right back in a moment. Okay, go. Go, 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 go. That's it. Any more flyers? Oh, there's one over here. Okay. How are we doing time-wise? 1:49. God, that's going slower than I thought. Good lord. Don't you fucking come up behind me and try and hit me, please. Go, go, go. Just keep shooting. What's this? There. Go, go, go. We're getting there. Okay, we're holding them off for the time being. That's the good news.